welcome back to the Roundtable. Today we got our normal three guests. Guys, want to introduce yourselves?
I'm
I'm
Carson.
Alex.
Crossing.
All right, first topic of the day. Let's start off with the Pats. They had that bye week with the Broncos, and then they played them this Sunday and lost, and now they fall to 2-3. Cam threw 2 interceptions and wasn't looking great. What are your thoughts on him and the defense letting up a lot of points?
The defense didn't play well. Neither did the offense. I think that's got to be because of they haven't really practiced as a team over the past 2 weeks. Like they haven't had a lot of team practices, so I'm guessing it has to do something with that.
Yeah, I agree with Carson. I think the team is just a little underprepared, missing a big aspect of both the offense with Cam out and the defense with Gilmore out.
I can't really be mad at the defense. Pretty sure we only gave up like 18 points. And
And they're all field goals.
Yeah, we didn't give up a touchdown. So.
Yeah, I think it was mainly the offense who just couldn't get going.
Yeah, if you can't
3 points in the first half.
When your defense doesn't let the other team score a touchdown, you should win.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't get it done.
So 2-3, thinking this week against the 49ers is probably a must win.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll win that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. 49ers have been really shaken with injuries. Most of them are back, but I still think a lot of them still are like a little shaky, like not 100%.
Yeah, they lost Raheem Mostert again, so.
Yeah. I think they win that game by moving the ball on offense, sticking to what worked the games they won, using the running backs in the passing game and whatnot, running the read option with Cam, and just locking down Kittle, I guess.
Yeah, we got to stop Kittle.
Looking ahead at their schedule in week 8, they get the Bills. Do you think they'll win that?
It's going to be a tough one, but I bet Bill's going to shut down Josh Allen, so.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen really hasn't been great against any good defenses.
Yeah, I'd say it would be close. I mean, it really all depends, too, how they play against the 49ers. If you see them pick up the same momentum they had like the first two games they won or whatever, I think they have a chance of beating the Bills.
Yeah, I agree with both Alex and Carson.
All right, around the NFL, there's still 3 undefeated teams. Steelers, Titans, and Seahawks. Packers got their first loss to the Bucs. Who do you think will be the next one to go down and who will last the longest?
I think the Steelers are going to lose first, and then the Seahawks are going to stay undefeated for the longest.
I think the Seahawks will stay undefeated for the longest, too, but I think probably the Titans are going to be the first to take an L because I think the Steelers are doing a really good job. They have a good wide receiver core, and their defense is playing well.
I think Tannehill's been playing well for the Titans, but I don't think he's going to keep it up all season.
Yeah, same.
And Derrick Henry, I don't think he'll be able to sustain a lot of it.
Yeah, also the Titans haven't really played a great team yet. They've played some okay teams, but they haven't played like a great
They had like a close game against the Texans, and the Texans are terrible.
Texans are.
And the Steelers have played some pretty good teams too, so we'll see how it plays
out. So guys like Derrick Henry, do you think he'll sustain his dominance from this week throughout the season?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I think, he had a really good week. But I don't know. His games before that weren't like obviously the same as like what we had last week. So I don't think it'll be that consistent, and I think he'll probably fall under what he did last week a bunch.
He hadn't been like amazing throughout the start of the season. he'd been like pretty average with just an amazing amount of carries. So I mean, he's gonna have big games. You can't really stop that, but I don't think he'll rush for 200 yards again.
What about Le'Veon Bell and his role on the Chiefs? What do you think will happen there?
I think he'll get a lot of goal line carries, but I think they'll keep Clyde as their starting running back for just normal rushes, but I think they'll plug him in on goal line.
Yeah,
But,
Le'Veon hasn't been like 2018 Steelers Le'Veon. He's barely played 5 games, I think, in the past 2 years because of injury and just refusing to play. So
I think the Chiefs really need to utilize him in the passing game
Yeah.
because the Jets
Yeah.
didn't do that at all, and
Right.
that's really like one of the main parts of his game.
But yeah, we'll see what they do. But
I think he'll have a role.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna use the fact that they have Le'Veon Bell on their team as an advantage. I don't think they're just gonna put him behind Clyde.
Do you think it's going to be like a Kareem Nick Chubb backfield? Like,
Yeah,
pretty equally
I
split?
yeah,
I think at first his workload is gonna be limited, but then as he like learns the playbook, I bet he's gonna get like a solid amount of volume.
Yeah, and the other thing is the Chiefs are a big passing offense, but they're always like up in games, so they'll be running the ball. All right, let's move on to some discussion questions around the NFL. Right now, who do you think is the best running back in the league? Carson, want to start this one off?
Sure. I might have to, even though Derrick Henry's not playing well, I still feel he's one of the best running backs in the league. Or Dalvin Cook was running the ball really well before. Didn't he just get an injury?
Yeah, he had a
Yeah.
slight
He
injury.
was playing really well, especially in the pass game
Yeah.
before
I mean,
that.
I don't think Derrick Henry wasn't playing well. Like he gets like 30 carries a game, so I
Yeah.
don't know how you couldn't get over 100 yards with that. You have to average like above 3 yards per carry. So
Yeah, so I'll probably have to go Dalvin Cook.
yeah, he's gotten in the end zone a lot this year.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you think?
Jake Kamara, he's just had a really, really good running game. He was almost like pretty much carrying the Saints with Michael Thomas out. He's just like main scorer on their team, and he had a one run play where he had just like really good spatial awareness with his guys. He's always shaking off defenders, and he's just a really smart runner.
Does this include people that are injured?
Yes.
I'm going to say Christian McCaffrey, but since he's injured, I'm going to say Kamara because I don't think there's anybody in the league that can do what Kamara's doing with the Saints. He's basically like a slot receiver who's also a really good runner, even though he doesn't get that many carries. He's really efficient, and he's really hard to bring down.
Well, I'm going to say Christian McCaffrey because I think he can do what Kamara does, but at a higher level, I think he's a better runner than Kamara and probably a better pass catcher. He might not do it with the same efficiency, but I mean, over his first 3 years, I think he had over 2,500 receiving and rushing yards. He got in the end zone 39 times, and last year he was on the field for like over 90-something% of the Panthers' offensive snaps. So I think he just dominates as a running back.
Yeah, he's really good.
All right, next question. Who is your favorite for the Super Bowl? One from the AFC, one from the NFC.
I'm going to go Chiefs for the AFC. because they haven't really shown any signs of slowing down. Who did they lose to?
The Raiders.
Oh, yeah. That's a bad loss, but I still think Patrick Mahomes can carry them. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say I probably agree. I'd probably say Chiefs for the AFC, and then I'd probably see like um, Seahawks. I think Chiefs Seahawks would be good, and I think that's probably what's going to happen. But I don't know. Russell Wilson's been playing really well. Defense has been pretty good, so I think they'd make it.
I don't see the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. I think their defense not good enough. Like, I think they got one of the worst secondaries in the league. They're allowing like a ton of points to receivers. But I mean, they have a really good offense. But
Yeah,
I mean, they're just.
I was gonna say Packers Chiefs. I don't really know what happened with the Packers last weekend. I don't really know what happened there, but I still think the Packers could win out the NFC just by the way Aaron Rodgers is playing, and they have a pretty solid defense, in my opinion. So I think they could be a very good Super Bowl contender right now.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are the obvious choice out of the AFC, and out of the NFC, I'm gonna say the Bucks because they've started to play really well on offense, as well as their defense is like the number one rushing D, and they just shut down Rodgers with their secondary this past weekend. So I think they're gonna have a good season, a possible Super Bowl. All right, next question. If you had the choice at 3 players who are currently in the NFL to start a franchise with, who would you choose?
I say Mahomes, Stephon Gilmore, and DK Metcalf. All young guys. DK Metcalf's like 22. He's huge. He has like a really bright career ahead of him. Take him. Mahomes, I think, just an obvious choice. He's young. He's got really good talent. And then Gilmore, you just got to get a really good defensive player. He's the lockdown corner. You don't want to let up big pass games, whatever. So that's the
I
my three
had
players.
Gilmore on my list until he's 28, which is like a decent age, but I feel like he's in his decline now.
Yeah,
Really?
I'd have to agree with him.
He's gonna go into his 30s, and it's gonna be like Darrell Revis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I can see that. It was either him or Aaron Donald for me.
Carson, what about you?
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm pretty sure almost everyone here is gonna say Mahomes as a quarterback. He's just so good. I was gonna say DK Metcalf, but since Alex said him, I'm gonna go Dalvin Cook. I think he's like 3 years out of Florida State, maybe 2017. He's a really good running back. So him, and defensively, I'm gonna have to go with Chase Young just because he's young and super young, and he's been playing pretty well on the Washington football team. I mean, he's only played a couple games. I mean, that team's really bad, but he's been getting a bunch of sacks, so he's playing pretty well.
Carson?
I'm going with Mahomes, Donald, and I might actually take George Kittle because he's the best tight end in the league. He's like 25 or 26. He's a really good receiving tight end when he's healthy, and he's the best blocking tight end in the league, no question. And I want to get Mahomes a weapon, so Kittle could be that weapon.
I would take Mahomes, Aaron Donald, and then Darius Leonard, young linebacker, and then Aaron Donald's just like he'll draw a double team no matter what, and if you get good or decent pass rushers around them, they'll be able to get to the quarterback. And I think Mahomes can make it happen with a lot of receivers. But like a guy like Dalvin Cook, he's really good, but I feel like you can replace a running back pretty easily, like you saw with Mike Davis just filling Christian McCaffrey's role. If you give them the same amount of touches, they'll be able to do something with it. And same with, even though Alexander Madison didn't have a great week replacing Cook, normally he would play pretty well replacing him. Moving on to the next one. Who do you think is the worst starting QB right now? Crossan, we'll start with you.
Austin knows.
Carson Wentz.
How come?
He leads the league in like every bad quarterback stat. Like interceptions, fumbles, completion percentage, quarterback rating. He leads the league, or he's top 3 in all of those.
Yeah. His QBR is like 70s.
Yeah, which is awful.
His completion percentage is like 58%, which is worse than the league. But I also think he doesn't have much around him. So I went with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins got 10 interceptions right now. And he has a ton of talent around him. And the Vikings should be winning. So I think Mike Zimmer might be gone soon as well. Like, I don't know. He's really been disappointing this year for the Vikings.
I'm going to go Kyle Allen.
No.
Just because it's Kyle Allen. No one's ever heard of him.
Well, he played for the like he was the starter for the Panthers last year.
Yeah, never heard of him. Yeah. And I watched some of that game, and he's not good.
Yeah, I didn't really do my research on this question, but tuning into Red Zone and I saw Nick Foles. I don't like Nick Foles. So I'm gonna say Nick Foles. I think he's terrible.
I don't know. I think Nick Foles is all right. I think he's got some lucky throws and stuff. Like
Nick Foles isn't that bad.
Yeah, he threw a ball to just like the center of the end zone with like 3 guys around his tight end. Somehow it got through. But I don't know about worst in the league. I think Carson Wentz is a pretty valid candidate, but he really has his top receiver right now is Travis Fulgham, and
I mean, he had
a running back who has no hands, can't catch a ball. He's got a
Miles
tight
Sanders and Zach Ertz are both good weapons, but he's too bad. He can't make a throw.
Ertz just gets doubled now because they don't have any other receivers to throw to.
Are they going to start Jalen Hurts, or is he already starting?
No,
they should. Maybe he could score some points for them.
Carson Wentz is so bad.
Wentz had a decent game last week.
Watching their games is so frustrating. Because just incomplete pass, rush for 2 yards, and then he gets sacked.
How about
he leads the league in sacks and sack yards lost? I think he's been sacked 25 times in 7 weeks.
How about the starting move to put Tua in?
Oh, that was so dumb.
Yeah, I think that was stupid.
Fitzpatrick was doing fine.
He wasn't doing bad.
I mean, okay, give Tua a chance, but I don't know.
The Dolphins.
I don't know if I take out Fitzpatrick. He was doing
second in the AFC East right now. I don't know why you would put in your rookie quarterback when you have a chance at going.
Fitzpatrick has not been playing bad.
Yeah, he's been playing fine.
He's not great, but he's better than Tua, who's never played in the NFL was
Yeah,
hurt
and
all
like
the way.
Tua threw like 2 passes last week. I don't know why they're putting him in all of a sudden. All right, let's move on to the NBA. Looking at the draft, I think it goes Timberwolves, Golden State, and then the Hornets. Where do you think guys are going in that draft?
What'd you say? It was Timberwolves, Warriors. What was
Hornets.
the third team?
Hornets.
Hornets. I'm gonna go with Timberwolves are probably gonna take LaMelo Ball first, just because they don't have a great. Is Derrick Rose still on there? The Timberwolves.
No, he's on the Pistons.
Right. So they need a guard. So I think they're just gonna take LaMelo, and then that leaves second pick to the Warriors. I say they're taking James Wiseman because they need someone to fill KD's role after he left, and then Hornets. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go James Wiseman to the Hornets, and I'm going to say the Warriors are going to pick Anthony Edwards.
I don't think the Warriors need much help at the guard position. I think the Warriors would be more inclined to take James Wiseman because they don't really have a big. I think the
Need a
Warriors are
big.
gonna, like, if they get James Wiseman, they're gonna dominate.
There's rumors going around that Timberwolves might trade for Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I don't know why you'd trade for a guy who can't shoot, but
Something like that. I don't really know what's going on, but
yeah, the 76ers
Not looking good.
really don't look that great. The Celtics have the 14th pick. So what positions do you think they need there?
I think we should trade it. Try to get a big, because we always have these mid to late round draft picks and they never end up doing anything, and they all just become bench warmers.
Hey,
Like
Grant Williams-
Romeo Langford.
Williams was pretty good this year.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, but
Carson Edwards, though, like, they should have just picked Bull Bull.
yeah, that was stupid.
Everyone was so excited to get Carson Edwards, but it's like he's a 5'11" point guard.
All you can do is shoot. You can't.
And he lost his shooting ability for some reason. He can't shoot anymore. And that's the only thing he's good at.
Yeah, I was going to say what Crossan said. They need to trade up. I don't see a point in drafting a big if they don't trade up for one earlier. They aren't going to do anything. Unless there's some random guy who they really think could do something. But I don't really have faith in what our past draft picks have done. Besides, what's his face? Williams. So, yeah, I say they trade for one. A big man.
Yeah, I mean, there were rumors around Andre Drummond coming to the Celtics, but I don't know. Like, would you want a pure rebounding big or a big who can also shoot?
I mean, he's the best rebounder in the league, so I don't think I'd be complaining about that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really have any skill, so it kind of throws a wrench in our offense.
Yeah.
He just played on the Cavs and like totally lost like all of his fame. Like when he was on the Pistons, he was known. When he went to the Cavs, everyone forgot about him.
Yeah. The problem is we're shooting random threes that should not be being shot instead of driving because we have no one who can really drive besides Tatum. So, or get inside. So I really feel like we need a skill-based center.
Yeah, I think Tatum needs to get a little reality check and realize he's still like 3 years into the league. He's not like Kobe Bryant yet. He's just still got to stay a little humbled instead of taking all these garbage step back three is to try to win the game.
Yeah. He took some shot against Miami. He was game 1. Maybe it was game 2. And it was for the win. It was some just terrible 3-pointer.
I think that was at the end of regulation, and then he went up for the dunk and got blocked.
That was just so hard to watch.
Swatted.
I don't think that was a bad decision.
No, that wasn't a bad decision. It was just hard to watch as a
it was
Celtics
like
fan.
a heartbreaker.
He's about to end Bam's career, and then he just got rejected.
I guess the smart play would have been drive and kick there, but he was pretty determined to score that.
I would honestly, in that situation, I'd rather have Tatum probably drive than kick.
Yeah.
Assuming he did something different instead of trying to wind up and dunk. But
Jalen's good. I like Jaylen Brown. He's smart. Like he's just
Jaylen Brown's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And smart.
He is smart.
Hmm?
Pretty sure he was on the Ellen show the other day too.
Who?
Jalen.
Oh, nice.
We need to get rid of Gordon Hayward. He's a fossil.
Yeah, he's just like, he's hurt. He's smart. Like they were talking about how like he's the only guy who's going to break that 2-3 zone well because he's just a good spot up shooter and he like knows how to play against it. But all the young guys just, I guess, forgot what a 2-3 zone is and didn't know how to beat it.
Yeah, and going back to that, the Celtics are a very, very young team.
Yeah,
in terms of
they don't
age
really
of
have like,
players.
I mean, I guess their leader would be Kemba just because he's the
Right.
veteran, but like
Veteran, right. But think about all the other players that have played. They are super young.
yeah. I think them and the Suns are like two of the youngest in the league.
Yeah.
Nobody's really talking about Kemba, but Kemba played terrible in the playoffs.
Yeah, he had a tough
He
Heat
did
series.
not play well at all.
He played well
A
against
couple
the
good
Sixers,
plays.
but yeah, he had like some games where he'd turn it on in the first half, and then
Yeah, very
And then some
inconsistent.
games where
going
he'd
on
shoot
the
like
second.
4 for 14, which is just like
Yeah, he had terrible. Like he was looking like Westbrook out there.
Westbrook without the passing or the rebounding.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Celtics they'll end up as a top 3 seed next year. Depending on how the season goes. I don't know. There's talks around there being another bubble, but I don't think players want that.
Yeah. And if Giannis is gone, the Celtics are probably the top choice to win the East.
Yeah.
Besides the Heat.
Giannis. Is it a contract year for him?
Yeah, I think it is contract year.
People thought he would go to the Heat. That's just soft move.
I can see him on the Mavs.
Like,
that would be crazy if he was on the Mavs.
Mavs will be insane if they get Giannis. They'll have the 2 best players in the NBA. Luka's filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be scary.
All right. Any other talking points for the day? I think we've covered it.
We covered it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us again on the Roundtable.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.